Good morning, y'all. Joe here from Lazy Lab Acres. Today's the day. It's time to process our first meat birds. Never done this before. Am I looking forward to it? Not really, but I know the benefits and what it's going to give our family, so that's why we're doing it. But we've got everything set up. We've got the cones over here. I tacked it into a tree. I wouldn't don't tack it in the trees, but I knew that tree's coming out, so I tacked it to the tree. But then we got plucker, our little station, a bunch of coolers with ice. So we're gonna get to it, and I'll probably check in after we get into a little rhythm here. It's just gonna be me to start out, but then Jamie's gonna join in and help me here shortly. So it's gonna be a long day, but we'll get it done.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit. It's hard to see you when your eyes look dull. Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Blue dude, that blue, sort of witty and jaded, but let's not talk about you. Your coyote song on a rerun. Are you hound dog tired, singing all night long? Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Not blue dude, blue moon, been one or two since I ran into you. Do you need a picture? Well, that gets old. It's hard to take one when your iPhone's cold.
The fall is coming, I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin. Tonight the whiskey feels stronger. Gasoline on hidden desires. So I'll throw another log on the fire. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn.
I think 46 birds. I think we'll count and we'll let you know how much weight we got out of them. But this was both of our first time ever doing anything like this, and we were able to get it done. A little anxious, nervous on parts, but overall it really wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. As somebody who's a highly sensitive and emotional person, I was worried about how I would fare, but it was
Jamie was
super quick.
scooping guts like she's been doing it for a while. So.
Yeah.
It was a pretty painless process. You just gotta take your time and go slow. But if we can do it, you guys can do it. So it wasn't that bad, but we're gonna be filling our freezer. We're letting them rest. They're in a gazillion coolers, and then we'll be bagging them, and then they'll be resting in the coolers again, and then going in our freezer tomorrow. So any closing thoughts? No? Well, we'll check back in and let you know how much poundage we got out of these birds. And yep, that's what we'll do. So we'll check back in a minute. So I'm in the process of cleaning everything up as we get ready to bag these birds. But before I clean everything up, I did just want to give a quick walk around of the setup and just show you how we did it. So we had the chicken tractor. I promise there's a video coming on this chicken tractor. But we had it fairly close. This is where the birds ended up. So I would take the birds from here. We'd go over to the kill cones that I have tacked to a tree. Don't tack them to a tree, but I know that I'm taking that tree out. So I tacked it to the tree, had it on the ladder. It worked well. I didn't have to build a stand or anything like that. From there, right about where the ducks are, that's where we had the scalder. I'd scald them, I'd walk them over here. And then we had the plucker underneath one of these 10x10 tents. We got 3 of them. 1 is ours, 2 we're borrowing from my parents, so that worked out well. But it gave us plenty of shade. It was hot today. It was almost 90 degrees with a lot of humidity. So we had them plucking here. 1 hose suspended here with bungee cord. Then the power cord for the plucker suspended in the air so it would stay dry. Because I know a lot of people complain and moan about this type of plucker and say that the motor gives out and it trips all the time. It's like, well, yeah, because you probably had the cord on the ground. You gotta get the cord out off the ground, and because it's soaking wet. So that worked well. We didn't have any problems with this plucker. Very happy with it. We had 2 birds in there at a time. Worked great. So we got 1 hose here, another hose here. This was our clean work table that is basically brand new. So I know it's clean. It was scrubbed down prior, but we had the 2 little cutting boards. We weren't really cutting into them at all because nothing on the chicken processing needed like actual cuts. It's just kind of slicing and loosening things up. So we were doing it on the cutting boards just to keep it cleaner and easier. Having both hoses here, Jamie had one, I had one. We were able to keep the work surface super clean, and we had all of our coolers over here. I just put up like a blanket there to keep the sun, as the afternoon rolled on, the sun wanted to come in this way. So we just put it there to kind of protect the coolers. Then we had a box fan running, kept the bugs off of us, worked pretty dang good. And then we have our Sold the Land print off PDF here that Jamie laminated and had out here for quick reference. And I highly recommend that. It was like $89.99. Worth it. Videos, PDF, everything you need if you're a little worried about it. And yeah, so that's the setup. So for now, I'm cleaning all of the tools. I'm gonna scrub this table down, and I'm gonna bring it out here, get it out of the mud, and we'll do all of the bagging right there. Now that the sun's going down, it's cooler out, we'll be able to hang out there, but a lot of cleanup to do. So that's what I'm rocking with. So as the evening wraps up here, the day after processing our first batch of meat birds, I just wanted to let you guys know how much we ended up with and how good the chicken truly was. So we ended up with 191 point something pounds of meat in our freezer, and that averaged out to about 4.1 pounds per bird. I think we had 7 that were over 5 pounds, one of them being very close to 6. And we enjoyed 2 of them tonight on the pellet smoker, and it was the best chicken I've ever had. Hands down, the juiciest, most tender chicken ever. And we were able to enjoy it with my parents, my sister, my mother-in-law, Jamie's grandmother, my brother-in-law, Emmylou. Everybody loved it. And we are so happy that our hard work paid off and we are able to provide this super nutritious, delicious chicken to our family. And in the future, anybody else who wants to get in on it, we're going to be more than happy to do that as well. But just some closing thoughts on the whole process. We don't have an agriculture background. Just a couple of years ago, we were living in an apartment complex within city limits. Nobody in our family has ever done anything like this. We're kind of the trailblazers on all of the gardening and chickens and ducks and all that kind of stuff. So if it piques your interest, go for it. You can do it. We were both out of our comfort zone, but we knew the importance of it and we knew what it could do for our family. So we pushed through, we made it happen, and I'm so glad that we did. The overall process, the dispatching of the birds, obviously, nobody wants to have to take the life of any living animal. At least I don't. But when I know that it serves a purpose and I know the greater good that it's going to bring, I'm able to do it. But Jamie was not in her comfort zone either, but she was in the weeds, got her hands dirty with eviscerating and doing all that stuff, and I couldn't have done it without her support. So I know that she didn't have to help me. I could just be the crazy one and do it all myself, but she was more than willing to get in there and help me out, and made the day a lot more enjoyable. And honestly, we spent a lot of quality time together, so that was nice as well. So I would just say that if you want to do it, do it. Even if you got a small space, just run a couple of birds. You can do it. We're lucky enough that we have a really nice piece of property here, and we have the ability to run a good amount of birds right now, and the plan is to run even more and be able to give our family all the chicken that they want, and then anybody in our area that wants this high quality protein source in their freezer and in their home, we want to be able to provide that. So overall, great experience. A lot of hard work. Honestly, the day-to-day, not very difficult. Moving the chicken tractor, feeding, watering, making sure the birds are healthy. It's a little bit intensive when they're super young and they're in the brooder, but once they get established, it's not that hard. But then processing day is a long day, lots of hard work, mentally exhausting as well. I've got all of Emmylou's little monster band-aids on here. One self-inflicted, wasn't paying attention, cut my finger pretty good, and then a chicken got me with its talon or its fingernail or its claw, whatever you want to call it. It got me pretty good, but other than that, we got through injury-free. So very rewarding experience. Highly recommend it. We were able to enjoy a meal with everybody tonight, and it was delicious. I'll never forget it, and I'm looking forward to doing more in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning into our videos. Thank you for supporting our business. We appreciate it more than you know. We're going to keep them coming as often as we can. And yeah, all I can say is thank you. So we'll catch you on the next one.